Don't you roll your eyes at me. I know what you're thinking. We just played an Angband variant in the form of Alex Angband, and here I go jumping back into Moria. Well, the joke's on you. This ain't Moria. It is a Moria variant, admittedly, called Boss, which I'd never even heard of until today. And it is about as far removed, at least thematically, from Moria as you can get. I'm a huge fan of Moria, you know that. I'm a huge fan of Angband, and as I just finished saying in the last video, there are so many Angband variants and so many Moria variants that we need to get through that occasionally we're going to tackle them back to back. Bottom line, I'm not ready to sit on the floor again and rejoin the 7-day roguelike challenge of 2011, where the next game would have to be played. This game runs on my current computer where I can sit in a nice comfy leather chair. Let's get to it. What is Boss about? Well, let me tell you by opening the FAQ. Literal first question in the FAQ. Just what is Boss anyway? If you played Moria in any of its incarnations, and why else would you be reading rec.games Moria, or watching Rogue Love for that matter, then Boss will seem inherently familiar to you. Boss is what you get when you take Moria, modernize it, magic becomes science, monsters become more realistic beasts, items get updated, etc. Add a lot of new features, different dungeon types, monsters, lots of new items, multiple towns, etc., and give it a twisted sense of humor. There's a lot of in-jokes in Boss that make it much more fun to play. Well, we'll find that out. I don't know. That's somewhat debatable, I guess, at this point. Especially for people who are already sci-fi comedy fans, or at least people who were 30-ish years ago, as you'll soon see when this was made. Boss is also easier than Moria. You're all familiar with people posting to rec.games.moria things like, I finally won, and 5 years and only one winner so far. The idea behind Boss is to make it the sort of game you can win in a weekend, instead of in a few weeks. Yeah! I know Boss is less serious than Moria. Hopefully it's as much fun or more fun. Agreed. Hopefully it is. If you're the person responsible for your site, you will find Boss much more customizable than Moria. We have taken much of the data out of the program, etc. You can dick around with the files and actually change stuff. Although you can do that in a lot of modern Angband stuff. What's the object of the game? Like Moria, the object is to become a powerful character who defeats the mega monster at the end of the game. In Boss, that monster is the boss. A mean, rotten, disgusting, and vile mafia figure who's out to control the world. Named Trump, I hope. To do this, you must travel far in search of his hideout deep under the sewers of New York City, battle terrible alien creatures, and survive against almost impossible odds along the way. They mentioned more realistic beasts. Terrible alien creatures are not necessarily more realistic, although I suppose they are probably realistic in the grand context of our galaxy. We're going to get a copy of Boss. It doesn't matter. You can get it from the archive RL. You can also get it from the link that I will provide. It's still available on the Wayback Machine. What platforms does it run on? Doesn't matter. What do I need to install? What's the difference? What's the deal with the different races? There are 3 races in Boss. Humans, Jarwangians, and Dacians. The Jarwangians are the nice guy aliens, a peaceful and technologically advanced race. They make some neat items. The Dacians are the bad guy aliens. They are also an advanced race, but they are warlike. Dacians make some of the best combat gear in the game. There's a bit of that demented humor in the name Dacian. See if you can find it. Nope. The boss employs many Dacians to protect him and to kill you. He also employs a variety of low-life human types for this also. Is there a time limit on the game? Yes! The long-announced time limit that I'm first hearing about today on the game has really been implemented. Yes way, Ted. Is that a reference to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Yes way, Ted. Your character can really get munched if he doesn't win in time. But the time limit is pretty long, so you'd have to be dogging it to get caught. I do dog it in my Moria game, so we'll try and pick up the pace. Why are there different towns, and how are they different? Rather than having one extremely deep dungeon, as in Moria, Boss has several shallower dungeons, 1 per town. Each town's dungeon is 500 meters deep, except for the last one, which is 2,500 meters deep. Is that, therefore, 10 levels and then 50 levels in the last one? Maybe? Not sure. Sounds about right. Each town's dungeon takes up where the last town left off, with a couple of levels of overlap. The net result is about the same start-to-finish difficulty as in Moria. You just said it was easier. You cannot find the boss until you get to the bottom of the last dungeon. The game follows a cross-country trek from Seattle to the Big Apple. On a new features note, RLG, whoever that is currently working on a scheme for each town having its own distinct monster list. Should be interesting when it happens. Side note, it probably didn't happen, or else it would say so in this. How do the buses work, and is it possible to get back to a previous town. To catch a bus, you must have 1, completed the current town's dungeon. 2, have paid off your loan, if any. And 3, kill the town's local mob boss. Then you may go to the hotel and climb aboard. And of course there isn't a way to get back to previous towns. This isn't like Moria, where if you get in over your head, you can retreat a few levels. You're dealing with a mafia here, and they aren't terribly forgiving when it comes to cocky, low-level adventurers. Are there monsters that give negative experience? Yes, they're only on the town level, though. Don't kill things in town. It's not nice. Well, except for the gang members and Dirty Harry, etc. How would you know that Dirty Harry is bad? Isn't he a good guy? The idea here is to be saving the good townspeople from the vile, evil, repulsive, and disgusting boss, not killing them on the way. If there are any others, then congratulations, you found a bug. Send me or RLG whoever that was, a mail about it. What are the qualifications for part-time jobs in the hotel? Holy fuck, this sounds involved. What jobs you can get are based on your level. There are plans to make these based on 1 or more applicable character stats, but that hasn't been done yet. How does Danny Dollar do business? Does he cheat? Sometimes it seems like he doesn't pay as much interest as he should. Danny Dollar doesn't cheat. He's honest, but stingy as heck. The interest rate is per week. RLG and I figure that with the time scale of the game, it didn't make sense to have it any less often than that. The interest rates he charges on loans and gives on deposits are based on your credit rating, which is a function of your loan. If you get behind on your payments, he'll charge you more on your loan and give you less on your account. Eventually, he'll just take money from your account. If you have a loan, it's a good idea to pay some of it off every time you see him. There's a special routine for real deadbeats that you really don't want to see. Keep those loans under control. How does potion mixing work? Potion mixing is a random thing modified by your intelligence. Mixed potions will either evaporate, blow up, ouch, or become something else. I'm reading really fast now because we don't have a lot more to get through, but I want to get through it fast for you, so I don't bore you. And I don't know any of this, so I got to learn it. If they do mix successfully, you'll get something that's on average or more powerful than you started with, but can either be good or bad. What's with disease? There isn't really any of that in Moria. Disease is the only really new thing that monsters can do to you. Some monsters can inflict you with disease when they hit you. If this happens, you'll get a message like the whatever gives you a social disease or something. Disease doesn't have any immediate bad effect, but does cause certain potions to be ineffective. You get healed at the medical clinic in the office building. Cost of a cure is proportional to how many times you've been diseased. What do the special flags on armor and weapons mean? Not all of them are listed in the help files. We'll look those up if we find them. What's the deal with strange items like the Acme personal force field and this 45 caliber silver bullet? Those are objets de jour. RLG and I got in the habit of taking 1 or 2 of the junk items in the item list, like Moria's broken stick, and every day or so changing them into something random, bizarre, and hopefully funny. These items usually have some interesting powers that are worth checking out. The ones in particular that are in the game are the ones that just happened to be there when we released the game. Expect them to change. In fact, one of the changes we made to the code for this release makes it easy for local boss wizards to add and change items. How is the score calculated? Don't care. If the mainframe goes down, there's an indication of how old this is. If the mainframe goes down, how can I restore my character file? Changes new features from 1 to 2. We don't need to know that. We don't even know about 1 yet. All right, that's about all we need to know for now. Let's assume we know how to play erroneously, and let's play. Press any key to continue. Boink. All right, choose a quality: elite, hefty, mad, wise, lucky, healthy, sexy, or alien. I mean, inherently, I'm leaning towards sexy, but I think I'm going to take alien because we can't play aliens in Moria. So let's assume this might be the race thing. Maybe there's the different races you can essentially choose. I don't know. Maybe not. Alien. Choose a sex. I'll stick with male for that. Choose a class: a wrestler, a scientist, a ninja, a soldier, a wanderer, or a thief. I mean, we don't know what we're doing. We just had our asses handed to us as a rogue, so thief's out of the question. Scientist is probably the coolest, but I mean, soldier is technically not in Angband either, right? Or Moria. I think I'm going to go soldier, guys, just to try and keep it baseline simple so we can try and figure this out. Move the cursor keys to the attribute you wish to change, then use greater than or less than to decrease that attribute. The numbers in parentheses, parentheses, I think you meant, are the amount of change and cost. When you are finished, hit the escape key. So, we have 100, so I guess you have to create your character. You can't just rely on it, being randomized. It's spelled weird wrong, too. It's spelled weirdly. Let's go a little bit in strength. Whoa, no, that's what I meant to do. I meant to do greater than. Oh, we already had 17. We got some good stats here as far as I can tell. How can you go past 18? You can. We don't know what it's out of, unfortunately. Incidentally, you are the confused child of a Jarwangian soldier. Jarwangian, I don't know. You are a stable member in the human community. You have very large eyes, wavy purple hair, and a smooth complexion. Note, experience factor is a multiplier of the amount of experience points your character will need to advance levels. As we increase our stats, does that make that go up? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's put our guns and grenades up a bit. Keeping an eye on that. Doesn't seem to be. Let's put it to 80. Melee fighting, let's put up a bit. And not stealth. Weird device. That's probably the equivalent of like devices. Are we not losing points to this anymore? Let's put our saving throw up for sure. It seems to be pretty cheap actually. Perception, sure, so we don't step on any booby traps. Let's put that pretty high. Searching I don't care about. Experience factor. Can we just put that down? Ooh, we can spend points to put that down. Isn't that interesting? Not going to bother. Hit die we can put up. 1 to 14 or 1 to 15. I'll stick with 1 to 14 is fine. Let's put some of these things up a bit. Charisma a little. Nah. Fuck it. Dexterity a little. And Constitution. Let's min-max this fucker. And the rest into guns and grenades. It's only 1 point per? Oh, we got it up to 100. I thought 100. I assumed 100 was max. Evidently not. As you can see, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you have 4 points per one. I see how that works. There we go. All right, let's press hit the escape key. My wife's stepping into the room to tell me news. What news, wife?
They're going to be on the way.
Right now?
Yeah.
Arriving in the approximate time of?
I'm not entirely sure how far away they are. Anywhere from 10 minutes to 25 minutes.
All right, got it. I can always append this. I'll edit this together with my my other game. I'll leave that conversation in there because I like wasting your time. There we go. All right, name. We need a. I don't know what Jarwangian, typical Jarwangian name is, having never heard of this character before. Let's be Grisdot. Grisdot Malfour. All right, age 459. Fuck, we're old. Height and weight is 67, 176. Our social class is pretty high. We should start with some good money, I think. +4 to hit, +4 to damage, +2 to armor class. Our level is 1. Our cash is 400. Blah, 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 blah. Enter your player's name. We did that. Press return. Our perception is honorable. Our disarming is repugnant. Some odd... Oh, he spelled weird right here. Weird device is spelled correctly here. Some odd choices for adjective. How can my disarming be repugnant? You're just gross at disarming. Press any key to continue. I can do that. Oh, here's a bus. Press any... There's a bus to Seattle. All right, good. I was afraid this was going to be the wrong size for the screen, but I think we're okay. Maybe I will quit and save it here, just because I don't know when my wife's family is going to arrive. I got to get, mildly presentable, I guess. So I'll return, but I'm gonna, I'll pin it to this game probably. Let's try Control X and see if that still works. Nope. How do we quit? How do you quit and save? Quit the game is Control Y. Oh, we want to save though. Save character and quit. Control Z, it looks like. Yeah, that seems to have worked. I can see a Grizz.Malfour save file just appeared. I'm excited for this, guys. I hope you are too. I will be back momentarily. I don't know if you'll notice my absence. Poof, we've time traveled. For you, that was a mere second. For me, it's been about 16 hours or so since we abandoned that portion of the game. Before we dive in, my thought process has been disrupted, so I want to return to some pertinent facts about Boss, but just for 2 seconds. Bear with me. So Boss is based on the VMS Pascal source code for Moria. When Moria was first begun, it was programmed in VMS Basic. Then Robert Konecki, who's incidentally, I just learned his middle name is Alan. Robert Allen Konecki. I don't think I knew that before, so there you go. A little bit of further information in our masterclass on random trivia about roguelikes that you and I will both promptly forget because it's presented in a non-coherent fashion. Continues. So Boss was based on the Pascal source code, which came directly after the basic source code for Robert Konecki, and Robert Konecki stopped working on it during the VMS version of the game, and then it went on to become Moria, which was the totally different branch of Moria that we ended up playing on this channel. The one last thing I wanted to mention, besides the fact that it was made by Robert Gullidge and Jason Black. They're the ones who modified Moria to become boss. Two last things. One was that it ended with version 2.5, as far as I can tell. I cannot find anything other than 2.4b via the Wayback Machine. So we don't have quite necessarily the final version, as far as I know, unless they mislabeled it, unless 2.4b was really 2.5. The only other thing I would say is... one thing I wanted to mention was when it was made. There was a line in one of the readmes, and I can't find it now, and I thought it was hilarious. But it said something like, "This version of the game is brand new, having come out just in October of 1992. And it's just a reminder to people to future-proof your statements, because, of course, brand new is a relative thing. In 1,000 years, that'll seem even more ludicrous. But there you go. 1992 is when this version of the game came out. One moment. All right, let us continue our adventure with whoever the hell we were playing. Some sort of Jarwangian, is that right? Jarwangian or something? Grizdop Malfor. Let's load him. There he is, an alien. His quality is alien. We know he's Jarwangian based on the description of him. He's a good alien, if I remember correctly. He has 400 cash. I guess he had a good social skill. Plus 4 to hit, plus 4 to damage, plus 2 to AC. All of that's good. 17 hit points. His stealth is cool. His disarming is bogus. His weird devices, dude. Are these the same descriptors we had before, or have they changed? Is it just random descriptors now? Like random 80s/90s slang? His saving throw is mass cool. Searching is awful. All right, that's fair enough. Searching is legit. All right, infravision, 8 meters, dude. Not really, just 8 meters. All right, let's go on. How do we escape? How do we escape? All right, well, we recognize this basic screen. This is Seattle, obviously. You can see the Sky Needle. All right, well, let's figure out what we're doing here. What do we have for inventory? Our basic key command should be the same. A beginning tech manual. I'm guessing that's roughly the same as a spellbook. Even though we are I'm guessing it's analogous to it. Even though we are clearly a soldier, I'm guessing we have some sort of spells. 2 potions of Restore Intelligence, that's pretty legit. 10k rations, another way of saying rations. A flak jacket, which gives us 8 armor class. A pair of combat boots, which gives us 4 armor class plus 1. A 45 caliber pistol. 5 disposable flashlights. Okay. Equivalent of torches. And 27 rounds of 45 cal ammo. I wouldn't mind getting a melee weapon as well for when our firearm inevitably runs out, unless we find ammo down below. Who knows, right? Inventory summary at the bottom. That's a little different than we're used to. What about equipment? We're not using any equipment. Well, let's start out by getting ourselves ready here. Let's wear. Asterisk does not work in VMS Pascal. Interesting. Space for next page. Okay, press space. Let's wear a flak jacket. Let's wear a pair of combat boots. Let's wield a pistol, a postal. Let's wield a pistol so we can go postal, and let's wield 27 rounds of ammo. If you can, you can't wield that. That's just like automatically ready to go. And now, if we look at our equipment, pistol, flak jacket, combat boots. All right, I don't know what all these things are. We have a C. Let's wander around and see what we find in Seattle. I thought I saw the entrance to the dungeon somewhere. There it is, next to the T building. All right, so in here, you know what? Let's. Floppy disk of recharging. Does this not remind you of Bob and Trev's Resurrection? A Commodore VIC-20 computer. This ain't futuristic. A boysenberry laptop computer. I don't even know what that means. Is that the color scheme, or was that once a brand name? I don't know. A rosy pink must be a scheme. A rosy pink mini computer. So it must be the equivalent of the descriptors of potions. No scrolls, maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. Let's do a quick browse of our. Can we press B to browse? Browse which book? Let's press space A. So we have energy bolt, motion, theoretically. We don't know it apparently. We get it at level 3, I guess. Motion detector, alter position, flare, first aid, find hidden traps, doors, and poison gas. We don't need another spell book. We've already got one. Looks like the building to our right is unused. That's interesting. Maybe some buildings, some cities have more things. More things in them. We might want to come back and get more armor. Really old plate mail armor up against bulletproof vests. Isn't that fascinating? It's kind of a neat mixture of things. I'm going to look at this guy. We really don't want to kill anybody here. Remember, it's talking mobs? That was the L key. Total creatures killed for each on-screen representation. Interesting. Is X the examine or something? Nope, we don't want that. Secondary weapon. Primary weapon, okay. X is switch. I don't know how to look. I should find that out. Let's try the question mark. Now this is what I miss. You press a question mark and a key list comes up. That's all I'm ever looking for when I press question mark, frankly. What are we trying to do here? Print a map. That's interesting, eh? Do you think it literally would go to my printer? Do you think it would work still? I'm not going to try it right now, but do you think that's interesting? I do. Capital B for badge. Display character. Current location. I'm guessing that's equivalent of like look around things. I don't know. I've been criticized before for scanning lists like this and not seeing things that are obvious. Maybe I should take the time to actually read it. I'm always worried about boring you. Whereas if I was sitting here by myself, I might take 30 minutes to peruse this list. Open a door chest, read a prayer. And you could reasonably argue that I should do that on my own time and then start the... I don't see a way to look. Start the game and have you watch. I mean, the slash key still works for identify a character, but I don't see a way to look. Do you? Oh, look. It says L. Did I do it wrong? Am I pressing the wrong goddamn key? That's L. Oh, look, which direction? You see a granite wall to the 2. Let's try that again. How's there a granite wall to my south? Maybe I'm looking directly south, like all the way. What is the first thing you see? So if we went, maybe you have to go on a straight line. So we go here. No, fuck. I can't aim. Let's try looking to the southwest with a 1. You see a granite wall. Fuck you, I do not. Oh, that's the letter P. Let's try looking here to the south. Instantly, I have to press it twice for some reason. You see a mother and baby. All right. What's in P? Lawn darts, baseballs, frisbees, bicycle helmet. We can get a new helmet. That's kind of neat. Today's price, and it's wigth. Like is a wigth. Is a cricket bat inherently better than a baseball bat? Like I don't see any. They don't. One thing it lacks. I mean, it is based on an older version of Moria. Like we don't know the various damage ratings of these things. Like what the hell do I know about these things? Can we look at them? Is there a way to not just browse? Use a coupon. That's neat. Seek special training. That's fascinating. Purchase an item, of course. Well, maybe we'll purchase. Let's try purchasing an aluminum baseball bat, just because it feels like we're paying double dragon then. And a motorcycle helmet. My spouse shall skin me. I didn't see a way to haggle, but that's a good thing. Let's wield those things, actually. Oh, I'm keep pressing my asterisk. Let's wield a motorcycle helmet. And a baseball bat for now, because I don't want to risk... Oh, you know what? Let's also do? Let's wield the pistol again. And then let's press X or something. Press X. Come on, get out of here. The secondary weapon is a pistol. Now let's wield the baseball bat. Alright, so we have, as far as I can tell, let's look at our equipment. We have a baseball bat in our hands, and a pistol as our backup in case we decide to shoot things. Like a mother and her baby. What's over here? The bouncer says that you're too poor to enter. I don't know what B is, being a bar? We had enough money to buy a fucking motorcycle helmet, but not enough money to buy a beer? I don't know if it's a bar. A lot of these things are straight up, hadn't been modified yet, perhaps from original Moria. Holy Book of Prayers. I mean, that's pretty fucking... Holy Pamphlet of Prayers. That's pretty Moria-ish. Moria-esque. A package of D-cell batteries. A lot of this we just don't know what it does. Bathrobe. I wonder, like, is a bathrobe something you can wear outside of your armor, or is that a robe? You know, because we don't know the corresponding thing, it's hard to say what we need. But of course, that's why we're playing, is to learn what this is all about. Ray guns. Ginseng Gary, the ninja, works here. Dude, you've fallen in your career path. From Ninja to store clerk. Oh, you wail on it. What the fuck am I wailing on? What? I'm not trying to kill anybody. You've slain it. I better not get in trouble for that. There was nothing there that I saw. You climb the front steps and enter a large lobby. We're in an office building. Do we want to be in an office building? Should I be terrified? Oh, it doesn't seem to... Oh. Please enjoy your trip through this door. Are these windows, or... I do not see anything you can open here. Oh, you can just walk up these things. A Riot Shield Medical Clinic. Okay, it cures disease. Sorry, let me see that again. Dr. Mac the Knife Jones. Make it Mac the Knife. It doesn't do anything over here that I can see. Incidentally, our character level is Street Punk. Get a Max Foot Room. As a joke on Max Headroom. There's going to be some references here that if you are younger than me, you're not going to get. Max Headroom was an old CG character in a television show who incidentally, or coincidentally, I saw referenced on Facebook yesterday. Somebody had a photo of him up. Light meal, short nap, overnight stay, blah, blah, blah. I imagine it heals you or something. I don't know. Danny Dollar, the bookie. You can get loans here. We read about that yesterday, of course. We don't want to do that right now. We don't seem to have any financial issues. Let's go back out by going greater than. You go down the stairs. Type help for... Uh-oh. Okay, good. I was like, fuck, can we not get out of here? Is it gone? Oh, I see it. It's way over there. Grenades and dynamite. This is all a little crazy. Would have got a hand axe if I'd have known that was an option. Oh, well. Alright, a lot of weapon stores. It seems to be they're big on the weapons here. We've already got a couple of... Is there a second... Interesting. A floppy disk of enchant armor. I wonder if we can just use that, or if we'd have to, have a computer to run the floppy disk. Let's head down, guys, because we don't know what the hell we're doing. Every time I go... Let's just look here. There's a down staircase next to the B. There's a down staircase next to the T building. Now there's a down staircase next to the A. Let's go in this building and see if we come out as our new down staircase. No, it seemed to me like there was like new down staircases being manufactured all the time. What did that say? I didn't notice. Let's try going down into what I assume is the dungeon. You enter a maze with down staircases. You pass through a one-way door. I would look at that, but of course I don't know what that is. So I'm just going to use a slash key to identify it. Orbs. You pound the floating orb. You have slain the floating orb. Alright. So we know in this dungeon in Seattle there's only 10 levels, right? There's 10 levels in this one, 10 levels in another one, 10 levels in another one after that, and then 25 in the final one, which is almost as long as Moria. They mentioned how shorter it is than Moria. But that's not particularly short. It's like minorly shorter. Glad to be of service. Oh, we don't have our... let's wield. Spacebar. A disposable flashlight. Your light source is a disposable flashlight with 3,600 turns of light. More. This may be a slightly longer episode because I just dove back in. Let me just triple check the time. Been about 15 minutes now. I mean, we did just enter the dungeon. We could call this an episode right here. Maybe I will. It's been 30 minutes. We've just come into the first dungeon. When you return, we will see the dungeon in action. Anything else we want to peruse while we're here? Just to finish up any thoughts we have. We can see our stats, of course, on the left. That's fine. Level, experience, current hit points, maximum hit points, resource? Is that perhaps your spell points? Resource? AC is our armor class. Cash, how much money we have. Weight, 537. Maximum weight is 1,256. I don't know what we're measuring in, but I'm assuming pretty powerful, unless they're talking about, I don't know, grams or something. Like that other game we played recently, Ivan. Is it Monday the 1st at 8:25? Yeah, I guess we have a time limit on this, don't we? But we don't know what the time limit is. We have no way to discern how long we have to do this. Anyways, I'll be back. Well, you'll see a video tomorrow with more Boss. The Moria variant that is intriguing to me in concept. I hope it is to you as well. Let's try. How do we get out of this? We don't want to do Control Y. Whatever we do, Control Z. Control Z. There you go. It worked. Talk to you later, guys.